Azerbaijani rugs are a product of Azerbaijan and Iranian Azerbaijan, an ancient center of carpet weaving. The Azerbaijani rug is a traditional handmade textile of various sizes, with dense texture and a pile-less surface, whose patterns are characteristic of Azerbaijan's many carpet-making regions. Traditionally, since ancient times, the carpets were used in Azerbaijan to cover floors, decorate interior walls, sofas, chairs, beds and tables. Carpet making is a family tradition transferred orally and through practice, with carpet making and rug making being predominantly a women's occupation. In the past, every young girl had to learn the art of weaving carpets, and the carpets she wove became a part of her dowry. In the case of a newly married son, it was his mother who wove a large rug for his new household. Starting a new carpet meant a feast, but the completion of a rug meant an even greater celebration for the family. In the old days, finished carpets were laid out in front of the house so that passers-by with the weight of the feet could make them even tighter than they had already been knotted. For the traditional process of carpet and rug making, men sheared the sheep for the wool in the spring and autumn, while women collected dye stuffs and spin and dye yarn in the spring, summer and autumn. Azerbaijani carpets are classified under 4 large regional groups, i.e. Gubashevan, Ganja, Kazakh, Karabakh, and Baku. In November 2010, the Azerbaijani carpet was proclaimed a masterpiece of intangible heritage by UNESCO. History. Since ancient times, Azerbaijan has been known as the center of a large variety of crafts. The archaeological dig on the territory of Azerbaijan testifies to the well-developed agriculture, stock raising, metalworking and ceramics, and last but not least carpet weaving that date as far back as to the 2nd millennium BC. The results of the archaeological digging in Azerbaijan validate the antiquity of the carpet weaving traditions on this land. The Gultapan excavations discovered carpet weaving tools which date back to the 4th–3rd millennium BC. For many centuries during the historical existence of Azerbaijan, both settled and nomadic ways of life were of importance. The carpet making was born in rural huts and with time ranked among the most essential arts. It was highly valued by the heads of states, and the gifted weavers were glorified by the greatest poets. The carpet history is assumed to be divided into the following 4 main periods. I period, the early stage of the carpet development. The carpet wear is very simple, without any motifs and patterns. The first pillars and jejims appear. 2 period, introduction of the kilim weaving practiced by the intricate threading technique. 3 period, weaving of shada, verni, sumak, zili, the period of simple and complex whipping techniques. IV period, introduction of the knotted pile weaving. Both from the technical and artistic standpoints, this stage can be considered the acme of the carpet making. The territory of the southern and northern Azerbaijans, or different states, religions and tribal cultures coming and going. There is always an inevitable mutual influence and penetration between the neighboring cultures, whether peaceful or militant. These processes were reflected in carpet making as well. Numerous carpet production centers appeared throughout Azerbaijan, each featured its own specific style and school. Flat weave carpets. Shada is a flat weave carpet made primarily in Nakhchivan, Agdam, Agjabedi. The artistic composition of shada made by complicated whipping, as well as its constituents, have a complex form. Early in the 20th century, the oldest weavers and carpet experts called this type of carpets shadra or shatra. The word shada is a distorted form of shatranj and shadwood. Shada comes in a number of varieties, each having a specific technique such as monochrome, checkered as subject. Monochrome shadra are made by the simple interweaving technique. Shadda with a checkered pattern is based on the Palas and Jefim principle. The same technique is used to make subject-based shadda. The subject shadda, Diwali, are famous all over the world. They use practically one and the same subject, with the composition being almost invariable. The cavalcade moving along the carpet field from left to right, along a few horizontal rows, and each string running into a figure of a savan on foot. The humans and animals are set off against the dark red field. Its color is smooth and hot. Verni, the most widely spread type of the flat weave carpet, is verni. Perhaps none of the flat weave carpets can boast such a monumental pattern and harmonious clarity as the verni, made only in Azerbaijan. The technical perfection and utmost emotionality of these carpets is a sort of acme of the Azerbaijani carpet art. Sample verni, displayed in various museums throughout the world, present the outstanding monument of the richest heritage of the Azerbaijani folk art, in which we by right take pride. Among the verni centers were Agjabedi, Barda, Agdam, Nakhchivan. The key acute cor feature, which is intrinsical to every verni, is the S element. Its shape varies. It may resemble both figure 5 and letter S. This element means dragon among the nomads and water among the village people. Based on the stories told by the oldest Azerbaijani weavers with nomadic roots, a dragon featuring carpet would protect the family from foul weather. In Taoism, a dragon is associated with spring. The Tibet pantheon considers dragon as a good deity, a master of chiefs. If the S element takes up the whole of the carpet space, it would be viewed as an image of a dragon itself rather than a dragon symbol. This element has been known to the local weaver for centuries and is characterized by an ability to come alive through embodiment in a specific image and to symbolize the good and happiness. Jefim jajims are woven on simple horizontal looms by narrow stripes 30 to 35 centimeters wide and 15 to 10 centimeters long. The resulting product is a cloth to be used as a wall carpet, a bedding coverlet, or curtains. The width of a jefim matches the distance between the weaver's feet, as in the process of weaving the whole width of the cloth should pass through the weaver's feet. The ornamental acute cor of jajims is diverse and rich. Various vertical stripes that decorate jajims are spectacular, colorful and decorative. They are often decorated by stylized images of utensils and geometrical elements. Up to the mid-20th century, delicate jajims were used to make garments both for men and women. The major jefim production centers are Barda, Nakhchivan, Zangilan, Shusha, Shamaka. Zili carpet. Zili is an interesting variety of flat woven carpets. They are characterized by stylized forms of animals and vegetal elements. In terms of their composition and pattern, the Azerbaijani zilis are very diverse. They feature a plastic flexibility of the pattern and emotional expressiveness. The ornamental decoration is marked by images of large elements in the shape of big lozenges, paired horns, various stylized elements. There are zilis with a variety of compositions, which differed by peculiar vegetal ornamental patterns and overall rich colors. The key element in such compositions lies in the recurring alternation of colors along the horizontal PT vertical lines, which form an energetic rhythm. As to the technical and artistic qualities, zilis are rich in moving images of stylized birds, elaborated butas, and other elements. Zili were obviously influenced by the tendency to fill in the space by various motifs, each being repeated in the field according to its individual layout, and the overall result resembles a fancy garden with a rich and fairy tale flora. Kilim is the most widespread type of flat woven carpets. They are made by passing the weft through the warp using the technique of compound interweaving. Kilim is characterized by a slot-like gap around the geometrical patterns. These openings impart a lace effect to kilim. The technique of kilim weaving predetermines the pattern shapes in the form of a lozenge, triangle, trapezium. Nearly all the vegetal elements, images of animals, birds and humans are geometrized in kilims. Kilims of different regions are distinguished by the composition, pattern, and colors. In terms of the technical peculiarities, kilims can be classified into 5 major groups based on the area of production: Kazakh, Karabakh, Absaron, Shirvan and Tabriz kilims. They are all characterized by a balanced composition, contrasting colors and clear symmetry. The pattern is traditional, in the form of large and small lozenge and hook-like elements, which are rather expressive and dramatic. Sumac. The sumac carpets present one of the interesting types of flat weave carpets, which have become widely spread and recognized over the last few centuries. Beginning with the 18th century, sumacs have been made in the Gubar and Gusari districts. Sumacs were created much later than other types of flat woven carpets. In the early stage of the development they might have had their own individual composition, but the sumacs of the 18th-20th centuries reproduced the compositions and patterns copied from the pile carpets made in Shirvan, Gubar, Karabakh and Ganja. The technological peculiarity of sumac lies in the rich composition and colors, the diverse stylized vegetal motifs, various geometrical elements such as large hexahedral, square, rhomboid medallions impart festive beauty to sumac. The traditional pattern includes the minor edge with a wave-like pattern, which is called dolangach. It is used basically in all sumac-type carpets. Palas is one of the widely spread flat weave carpets. The palas weaving process consists in passing the weft through the warp by a simple technique. The weavers decorate the palas by traditional patterns in the form of horizontal stripes commonly used throughout Azerbaijan. But every individual weavers had their own choice of composition and colors. Changing the stripe size, the weavers changed the correlation of colors, thus creating countless variations of fine palaces. As a rule, the palace is not framed by a border. The palaces called chi are made by a very unusual weaving technique. Similarly to other simple types of palaces, the background of chi is plain weave. At the same time, the pattern-making thread is used to create a fine tiny geometrical pattern by piercing sanjma. This creates the embroidery effect. Namazli. These carpets, which are called in Azerbaijan Janamaz, Namazlik, Mekrabi in Iran, Tagi, Janimaz in Arabia, Sajid, both in terms of the format and composition are distinct from the rest of the carpets. In the reign of Shah Qabbas and his successors, the weavers made small prayer rugs called namazlik, decorated by inscriptions in Arabic such as quotes from the Quran, the words Allahu Akbar, Ya Ali. These dicta as a rule was placed in the top of the carpet. For the artistic point of view, to the northern Azerbaijan namazliks differed from those made in southern Azerbaijan. The latter, in their upper part, depicted objects required for the namaz prayer rather than the religious inscriptions. Also, sometimes there were images of hands woven on the left and right sides. Thus one can conclude that namazliks appeared in the second quarter of the 14th century as the Muslims attached great importance to the namaz prayer ceremony. Compositionally, namazliks can be divided into the following two groups: village rugs and workshop rugs, which since the 16th century have been woven using sketches of the professional carpet makers. Dyeing wool. At dyeing workshops, professionals dye yarns with dyestuffs mainly of plant origin, strictly following the centuries-old traditional techniques of coloring. Though appearing to be simple at first sight, this work requires high skills of a dyer. To prepare the 7 basic colors and the tints used in carpet making, professional dyers use green walnut shells, the skin of pomegranates, indigo, leaves of the mulberry, mulberry, quince and walnut plants, and roots of madder. For example, in order to achieve yellow in its hues, they use bulb onion peels, mulberry leaves collected in the late autumn, etc. To produce red and pink colors, madder is used, and to obtain dark blue, and green, indigo dye is used. At the very end of the yarn dyeing process, a dyer adds salt, alum or vinegar into the dye solution to increase the intensity, fastness and durability of colors. Then, dyed yarns are pressed and dried with special techniques. Weaving. They are made using weaving looms with average knot density. 3 hand tools are used: a knife, a beater and shears. Pulling. In most cases, carpets manually woven of silk and wool have clear unevenness of their edges. To eliminate this characteristic, carpets are fastened to wooden floors with the 4 ends pulled. They are then raised up from the middle by means of special wooden lifters and smoothened on the reverse side. After that, the carpet is pulled and fastened to the wooden floor again and left in this position for 2 days. As a result of this process, the crookedness of the carpet, which has just been taken off the weaving loom, is totally eliminated and the edges of the carpet become straight. Carpet weaving schools. Guba-Shirvan schools of carpet weaving. The rise of the carpet art on the territory of Azerbaijan was undoubtedly related to a number of objective factors, among them the geographical location of this land at the joint of the east and the west. Here, along the Greater Caucasus Ridge, lies the borderline between Asia and Europe. Here is the historical juxtaposition point between the Islamic and Christian cultures. Long cavalcades passed through this land in the Middle Ages. Azerbaijani carpets can be categorized under several large groups and a multitude of subgroups. The true scientific research of the Azerbaijani carpet is connected with the name of Latif Kerimov, a prominent scientist and artist. It was his classification that related the 4 large groups of carpets with the 4 geographical zones of Azerbaijan, i.e. Guba-Shirvan, Ganja, Kazakh, Karabakh and Tabriz. Guba School of Carpet Weaving. The Guba School, that includes the Gonakend and Divichi districts, covers up to 35 pattern compositions of the carpets. Guba is an historical region hosting a plenitude of various tribes. Even now the region is populated by ethnic groups that speak different languages, among them Azerbaijanis, Lesvans, Tats, Budugs, Gyrizis and others. The Guba carpets are remarkable for a wide variety of designs, which may differ even from village to village. The ornamental pattern is characterized by geometrical and vegetal motifs, most of them stylized. These include Gyriz, Jimel, Gonakend, Shani's early and other carpets. On the face of it, the ornamental pattern in the Guba carpet group may appear to be too mixed and varied. However, on closer examination it becomes evident that all ornaments in the composition strictly follow a common design. Shirvan School of Carpet Weaving. The Shirvan School is famous for its superb carpets. Shirvan is one of the most ancient historical regions of Azerbaijan. Carpet making of different types is a widespread craft with both settled and nomadic natives. The Shirvan School accounts for carpets manufactured in the following towns and villages of the Shirvan region: Shamaha, Maraza, Bifo, Kashad, Arkamin, Kurdamir. The school totals 25 compositions. The Salian carpets, with similar artistic and technical features, also belong to this school. The Shirvan carpets are characterized by an intricate design, which depicts numerous artifacts of everyday life, birds and people. Ganja Kazakh School of Carpet Weaving. The carpets of this school are notable for peculiarity of the compositions and ornamental patterns. The Ganja carpets include a relatively small number of carpet compositions, all in all between 8 and 20 patterns. The Kazakh carpets cover about 16 compositions with various patterns. Kazakh, which is located on the NW of Azerbaijan, is the most famous carpet production region and also accounts for the Kazakh and Borchali carpet groups. The Kazakh carpets have a geometrical ornamental pattern. The composition is not very complex, with a focus on a schematic presentation of the geometrical patterns, plants and animals. The ornamental decor of the Ganja carpets is rich and diverse, with a focus on geometrical motifs as well as schematic presentation of plants and animals. Baku School of Carpet Weaving. The Baku School of Carpet Weaving includes the villages of Novkani, Fatmai, Nardaran, Bulbulia, Mardakan, Gardi. These carpets are marked for their increased softness of the material and intense colors, as well as excellent artistic taste and exquisite decoration. This school has about 10 compositions. The historical sources and inscriptions on the carpets testify to the fact that carpet making was widely spread in these villages and carpet wear was exported outside the country. The carpet composition often includes medallions. They are filled by various motifs, most often by stylized images of plants, which lost the resemblance to the original object after they had been geometrized. Karabakh School of Carpet Weaving. The Karabakh carpets amount to 33 compositions. Due to the specifics of the local sheep wool, the Karabakh carpets are characterized by thick bile, high and fluffy. These carpets are marked for the vivid and joyous colors. They are divided into 4 groups, without medallions, with medallions, namazlik and subject carpet. In the mountainous part of Karabakh, the carpets were made in Malibili, Muradkanli, Dashbulag, Jabrail, and many other villages.